Hello everyone, Wednesday, January 25th, 2018. Of course, today was New Comic Book Day, which means right now is New Comic Book video time. I'm going to show you the books I picked up today. I also picked up an older Bronze Age book that I'm pretty happy with. I thought I would show that. And then I had a couple of hotter titles that came out today I'm going to show. And then I have some information as it relates to my job as it, affects the opening of my comic space. And then I saw a video on YouTube I thought was pretty interesting, so I am going to talk about that video, and it relates to CGC grading, so I know how much everybody loves that. So let's jump right into the books. This came out a couple weeks ago, but I heard good things about it, so I thought I would grab it. This is Damage number 1. Flash 39, cover 1, which is the 700th issue cover. And then the Flash 39 cover that I really liked, this one here. Someone's about to get a little punishment laid down on them. Really cool cover there. Wonder Woman 39. Detective 973. Lookers, Ember number 4. I got this because this kind of reminded me of like a 50s detective book. They used to have the little serial magazines, just the whole look and feel, so I grabbed one of those. I liked it. Another cool cover, Action 996. Of course, the news with Superman going back to the red shorts is very popular with everybody. But the problem with that, and I had a conversation with somebody today about that, 1000 is going to be an iconic issue. Of course, it is the first comic book to ever get to the 1000 level. And so that is a big time, book. But I think it's going to kind of be like the Death of Superman stuff, where so many people are going to buy it thinking that they're going to make a fortune on it. I really don't know how valuable that book is going to be in the long run. It's going to be a nice book to have in a collection, but I don't know the value of that book, how it's going to relate there. Jughead the Hunger number 2. Number 3 came out, and for some reason at the shop, all the covers were real wavy, and it didn't look real good. The waviness you see on there is the bag, but the book's on number 3, so I'll have to try to find another one of those because I am enjoying that storyline, and I was a little irritated that I couldn't get a number 3 in good condition because I am that guy who looks for, the book has to be in really top-notch condition. I'm not going to buy a book just to get it. And then, this is a book I don't read not much, but a cover that I really, really liked, and this is the X-Men Blue Annual. This is the all Venom cover. Everybody's a Venom. And I like that a lot. So I picked one of those up. Kind of high on that price, $4.99, but what are you going to do? One of the hot books that came out today, Doomsday Clock. Got Batman on it right there. I only bought the one cover. I didn't buy the other cover I didn't like. And then in a couple weeks, I think it's issue number 5 is going to have the Joker. That is going to be a hot seller. And then the hot book of the day, and if you had a chance to get one, great. These were selling out really quick. I was lucky to be able to get a couple. And then I have a little question about this as it relates to something that I saw earlier today. So this is Thanos number 15. Apparently this is the announcement of who Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider is. So there's that cover. I like the cover originally when I saw it because, Thanos has Hulk on a chain, so I thought that was pretty cool. But this book is already selling in excess of $10 to $12 to $15 for that book, and it sold out real fast. And a guy took a picture of 8 books he picked up on, I think it was a Facebook thing I have, and he showed 8 books that he picked up of this one here, and he says, hey, I really, got over on the comic book shop. And he took a big bashing from people on the site because some people couldn't get the book. Now, my question to you is, we know about speculation. We know how people are when they buy a bunch of books and just try to flip it for the fast dollar. And again, you do what you want with your money, okay? So do you have the right to be upset if someone buys multiple copies if you don't get there in time? I make it a point to get to the comic shop when it opens at 10 o'clock because I don't know what's going to be in there sometimes. I have an idea, but I don't know. I want to get the best condition books that are out on the shelves and be able to change some of the stuff in my boxes if I didn't like the condition that it was in. So you as a collector, do you have the right to be mad at somebody because he bought 8 copies of this book off the shelf and the shop let him do it? I mean, Do we be mad at the shop for letting someone buy 8 copies, or mad at the person who bought the 8 copies? Because I'm just interested in knowing what your point is. My point of view is, if the shop is going to let you do it and you want to spend your money, okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if there's 10 copies on the wall and there's a guy standing there looking because he wants one, I mean, you can work a deal out with that guy. You guys can get a couple of copies each. But if there's no one there and the books are sitting on the shelves, buy them. Comic shop is there to make money. And if they know someone's going to buy the entire run, that's just another title that they don't have to worry about. So that's my take on that. I'd like to hear what you think about that. The Bronze Age book I picked up I was pretty happy with this one. This was a Luke Cage Hero for Hire number 3. Now, remember we talked about how I'm not going for the big keys. I'll try to find higher grade books in the filler stuff. Perfect example here. This is a Luke Cage Hero for Hire number 3. I graded it a 9.0. It's a really nice book. Not a whole lot of issues with this book. I think it's a solid 9, which means it's probably a solid higher grade. But I really like that book. And this brings me to a CGC video I saw. The person's name is Mercenaut, and he does YouTube videos with unboxings of CGC books he sends in because he's really big on CGC. And I found it very interesting that he sends a book in, and it's a Werewolf by Night 32. We don't need to talk about that book. We know, first appearance of Moon Knight. And he's doing this video, and he's like, yeah, I sent the book in, and I was hoping, I thought maybe a 6.5, maybe a 7 if I got it on a good day. So I'd be happy with those grades right there. And he ungrades this thing as an 8.5. And he was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe I got an 8.5. I was hoping for a 6.57. I didn't think it would grade any higher than that. So he gets an 8.5. The difference between a 6.5 and an 8.5 in that book is hundreds of dollars. And we've discussed this in the past, how CGC does this for certain key books. Now, I don't do a CGC book, so I don't know if they still charge based off of the fair market value. They might do that depending on the level of, service you get. But if I'm sending a book in, I think it's a 6.5, and the company sends it back an 8.5, that's like a red flag there. So I said, okay, that happens. It's been happening a lot lately with some things. So the next one he sent in was a Hulk 181, and it had a tear in the back. And he thought, you know what? When I bought the book, I got it for a good grade. I'm hoping for maybe a 5.5 at the most, because of the tear on the back and had some other issues on the spine. And he got a 7 on it. And he was like, oh my God, I can't believe I got a 7 on it. Okay, I can't believe he got a 7 on it either. It's got a tear on the back, and it had some other issues because he showed, the book on there. But again, there's an overgrade on a premium book. So I thought, okay, in the last book, well, actually, it was the first book he showed, but the last book we'll talk about was a Giant Size X-Men number 1. And this thing had a tear, not a tear, but a really hard crease down diagonal on the book. So if this is the book, the crease, and he shows it, kind of goes like this on the book, and it is a color break crease. You can see the color break. Had a couple of other issues on it. And he thought, you know what, when I sent the book in, I was kind of hoping for a 4.5, 4.5 because of the big color break, but it's an X-Men number, Giant Size number 1, and I want it. And he uncovers the thing, and it got a 7.0. How do you get a 7.0 with a diagonal crease? And you can go look at these videos. Again, the guy's name is Mercenaut, and I watched his video for the first time, and I couldn't believe the grades on that. And again, I don't know if CG is still charging for service, but if they are charging based off of fair market value and a percentage of that, there's a perfect example of an overgrade by CGC, or people who just aren't doing a fair job to the industry to grade that. That is a drastic overgrade. Every one of those books, if you look at them, when you watch the videos and you look at them, you can say, you know what, there's no way those books got to those grades. Now, good for him for getting the grade. Okay, it's not nothing against him. I mean, good for him. It's money in his pocket if he's going to flip them, because people are going to see him in that case and say, hey, I got it. But you know what? It's not a good grade. So, excuse me. That is that video is pretty much everything in a nutshell of what I've been saying about CGC, because this guy is a CGC guy, and every book he sent in, he said, I was hoping for this and got a much higher grade, and he just couldn't believe it himself. So, nothing more to say on that. I will always do raw books. I prefer a raw book, and we know that already. So as it relates to my job, I did get the position that was put out there. And so I got the promotion. I'm very happy about that. It's a good company to work for. The problem, though, is that I'm still going to be on the same shift. And now the opening of my shop, unless something changes in the next, few months, is we're looking at a much longer delay in my reopening. So what I'm going to do if that happens, now I won't know this for a while. My days off also are changing, so there might be some delays on the next video depending on when I can get it done, because I usually have Tuesday, Wednesday off, but now I'm going to have Sunday, Monday off. So I don't know when the next video is going to be. I'll probably do one next Wednesday and see what I can do. But I'll have to adjust the schedule, so watch out for that. But I want to make sure that I'm getting, if I have to delay the opening, I was a little pause right there, I kind of lost track. If I have to delay an opening the shop, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's disappointing in the sense that I wanted to get it open to sell books, but at the same time, it'll just allow me to get more things and to kind of fine-tune some of the things I want to do. But if that's the case, I'm going to start putting up, and I've said this in the past, I just haven't done it. I'm going to put a bunch of stuff up on my eBay store. Now, it's not going to be any older vintage, higher grade vintage. I'm going to save that stuff for the shop. But I'm going to put up stuff that I have that I think will sell. So kind of look for that. But again, keep watching the videos for updates, because I just got this information word that I got the position 2 days ago. And so everything is still kind of fresh and new. So we'll have to see what it does as it relates to my opening. So that's pretty much what I had tonight, kind of a rattle on a little bit. I hope you liked the video. But if you don't, as always, nothing I can do for you. Thank everybody for the support. Give it a thumbs up if you want, thumbs down if you want. If not, I'll see you next week. Thank you very much. Have a good night.